All right, I can't do the music right now because the Al Gore's rhythms would get me. So we're gonna do a little sherry poo. If you are within hearing distance in any of the social medias in which this is broadcasting, can you please do me a favor and like and share and subscribe and say hi? Because motion creates emotion for the algorithm. So, we are about to start the old, let's see, We're about to do an old sherry poo right here. Let's go ahead and, okay, so that sounds good, right? That sounds perfect. Let's go ahead and share that into the feed. We're going to post that. We're going to, my brother is texting me right now, and that's cool. I appreciate that. I appreciate my little brother reaching out and saying hello. We're going to go ahead and share that there, like so. The Hijack is live now, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to start here in just a moment, so thank you for your patience. Oh, let's see. I can't play any music, so we're just going to go ahead and hit the countdown dry. We're going to raw dog the countdown. Sorry. That sounds weird. Anyway, we're about to start the show. Thank you for hanging out. Yes. So close. 30 seconds. Ten seconds. TheEnd.fm, I am DJ Swain. This is The Hijack. And we are live. We are live. I am also testing everything at the same time and hitting the one-man show over here. This is a one-man operation, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hanging out. My name is DJ Swain, and you are listening to The Hijack, and The Hijack apparently... There we go. We're back here. That's what I'm talking about. What the hell just happened there? That was very strange. You know, you try as a one-man operation to iron out all the kinks, but sometimes they just get by. So thank you for hanging out. My name is DJ Swain. This is The Hijack, one of two shows that I do. I do The Hijack, which is a more political and current events type show. And then I do Irreverent, which is more related to faith and religion and that kind of thing. So I'm a little slacked off on the last live stream podcast upload from the last live stream on Irreverent, but it's just been a very hectic time with me, so with the holidays and all of that jazz. So speaking of which, I'm glad. I hope you had a great holiday, whatever you celebrate, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever. And I hope you have a great the holiday. So we have a few things to talk about. There are many things to talk about, but a few of them that I really want to get to today. And so we're just gonna get to the end of the year recap, because really that is the theme. Is we have 4 days left. I am DJing my last Saturday, the last Saturday of the year at West End, as per usual. I will be DJing the New Year's Eve party there as well, so make sure and come by and say hello, shake your ass, and maybe grab a Zwain's chopped cheese from the joint. So you could start the year off right by shaking your ass and eating some of my meat. So this year was a year that had a lot of learning. I learned a lot this year. There were tragedies, there were loss of friends, there were loss of friendships. You learn and you're surprised by the people who are still around and the people who have that you've known for years. And you lost people that you thought you lost people that you thought you'd know, and like the people that you'd least expect are hanging out and part of your life in a weird way. It's happened to me a few times, and it's how I've accumulated some of my dearest friends in the most unusual places and the most unusual times, and the times when I'm usually just trimming the fat, both physically and when it comes to relationships, because we're humans. We're not supposed to be in a million different pulled a million different directions. There's a certain level of spoons, I think is what they're called, that allow you to energy that you spend on the people that you deem worthy of your energy. And that's something that I've had to really learn about that this year. And I've also seen some shady people doing shady things, and everything from stealing ideas and that kind of thing to just doing shady practices, questionable business practices. But it's you live and you learn, and what are you gonna do? So as far as like my end of year, that's been, but it has been the most stressful year that I've had in a few, but it's been a year of growth, which is great. Zwain Entertainment is in some new businesses, which is awesome. Shout out Fairvilla. They have brought me on, and I'm doing a lot of their voiceovers right now. I think I might be the the voice of Fairvilla at some point. But I think at this point I'm the only guy that's doing voiceovers for them. So technically, you know what? I'm gonna take it. I'm the voice of Fairvilla. Don't tell the brass though, just yet. Until anyway, not the point. It was a stressful year. And this is gonna be. We're entering my 5th year at West End, which is it's really awesome. That little room in the front, like I like obviously the whole venue. It's they bring on great punk shows. It's really a hub of punk music in Sanford and Central Florida. Really, it's kind of nice that it's right down the street from me and that I play on Saturdays there. So it's really cool. I'm entering my 5th year there. It was the first gig that I came back to from the pandemic, and it's been a lot of fun. The place has been, it's changed a whole lot, since I first got there, but, it has been a lot of fun. So shout out to, West End, and the West End crew there. But not to, for nothing, but The New Year's Eve party is going to be really good too. I think the supervillains are going to be in the back. I'm going to be in the front. That sounds weird. Yeah, I mean, I get to play music for a living 21 years later. This is my 21st year DJing. So I look forward to DJing more parties and, West End at Tuffy's. Shout out Tuffy's, man. That place is dope. And a few other places in downtown Sanford. I'm sure I'll be making appearances there. As far as the Hijack, I just started posting on this page again and on all of the socials. So all of the episodes are going to live here, which is great. And yeah. So it's all more organized. So the algorithm knows how to serve me and where to serve me as far as like the information that I put out there. So yeah, Irreverent is still under Irreverent the End, and that's going to be in its own channel if you're into the religious talk and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, and that's That's going to be, as far as the channels, this channel, obviously the DJ Zwain channel, if you're listening to it on YouTube, is going to be the music page still, and all of my little crazy endeavors have their own avenues now. So I thank you very much for following that. Now, on to some like current events. I was talking to my little brother, and we were having. I like having conversations with my little brother because we are so different. My middle brother in my nuclear family, my nuclear family, we grew up very differently because he grew up in the military. He grew up, right at 17, went into the military. I went into everything that I went into, nightlife and entertainment, and I was in tech and IT and for a while, for about 10 years. But really, I went into entertainment and production for most of my life, whereas he went military most of his life. And with that comes a difference in lifestyle, obviously, in opinion, in a lot of things, because of the influences that surround us and the opportunities that were given or, not. So my brother and I, having these differences, I went to a military school, so I have the basis of that, and my determination and attitude stuck from that. But I saw a flaw in the way of thinking, as far as like the idealistic thinking of what we would classify as a typical military type of thinking. So like very conservative, very what is the when you pick yourself up by your bootstraps. When you pick yourself up by your bootstraps, that's the old saying. Sorry, I'm gonna bring that down a little bit. I was running a little hot. So as a result, we pick and choose. We kind of like develop, I would say, a view on the world. So my view is very much coming from the creative, the artistic, the entrepreneurial. Whereas my brother is coming from a very like militaristic and like very, and which I appreciate. And so with that said, because of the I pick and choose kind of what I believe, as far as based on everybody does. One of the questions I had for him is, do you believe that there is such a thing as an ethical billionaire? And he said, obviously, yes. I struggle with that. I struggle with saying that there is such a thing. I also struggle with the thought that, because I can think of people that I think maybe are ethical billionaires, right? But I don't want to dig too deep. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to dig too deep, because at that point, they're not going to be ethical, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? By the way, I just started actually looking at the chat. Sorry, guys. But I really think that being an ethical billionaire might be like being a superhero or, an Easter bunny. It just doesn't exist. Or does it? Because if you look at the Arizona iced tea guy, the guy that created Arizona iced tea, he has kept Arizona iced tea for 99 cents his entire time. And I think to myself, is it worth it for him? Is it worth it for him they don't raise the prices based on, their overhead is not very high. They own everything. And it's what, sugar or tea and I don't know how you make tea. I'm not a tea maker. But the ingredients to make tea, the cans and all of that, and they made it 99 cents, and they're like, "Yeah, we made enough money. It's all good. 99 cents, it's fine." And the Costco CEO, who threatened to kill a board member after they said that they should raise the prices of the hot dogs that are famously $1.50. So I have a hard time saying that. I have a hard time saying that there is no such thing as a benevolent billionaire or an ethical billionaire. Maybe a benevolent billionaire. I know I said benevolent on the I interchanged the two in the captions, but I think that there could be benevolent billionaires, but are they ethical? And what is the purity test for ethical billionaire? You know? Are all CEOs feeling in danger? Or is it only the ones that are exploitative with their companies? I mean, I would argue that if the rules of the game by which we play incentivizes things like nonprofits that do things like have upwards of 75% administrative costs, like the Susan G. Komen Foundation or the Red Cross, like I think that our system of government and of economics, I think it incentivizes that. And therefore, these people that pretend to be doing good things by, wearing the nonprofit brand, like you have to have now, like I would never give money to the Red Cross. I would never give money to Susan G. Komen. I would never give money to anybody whose administrative costs are 75, 80%. There's no way that I would ever do that. Now, are all CEOs feeling in danger, though? Are they? Or is it the very companies that are ruining this country, running it into the ground with their greed and shareholder profits? Is that who's, because, I mean, if that's who's, feeling in danger after the homie did what he did, allegedly, I can't say that there isn't such a thing as a benevolent billionaire. But I can say I don't want to dig too deep into like the Mark Cubans of this world, because I think that he is probably the closest thing to an ethical billionaire that we have, but he would be the closest example. And if that's the closest example to an ethical billionaire, and he ends up, you find out that he does something dumb, what do we do now? What do we do now? We don't have that way. That at that point, we don't have ethical billionaires. Can somebody check on the Arizona Iced Tea or the Costco CEO? Because I hear that they're good people, and I hear CEOs are also in danger. So let's see what the benevolent quote unquote CEOs are up to, and see if they are, fearing for their lives. Speaking of which, let's check on the homie. Let's check on Mangione. Mangione the homie. Let's see. What's up with old Mangione? Mangione's Christmas behind bars. A meal of Cornish hen and sleeping on a 2-inch mattress is what this is out of People magazine. Luigi Mangione is in a New York federal facility on charges of murder and terrorism in connection with the death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, allegedly. Luigi Mangione, the 26-year-old accused of murdering United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, will be given a meal of Cornish hash on Christmas where he is sleeping on a mattress about 1 to 2 inches thick, a prison consultant familiar with the facility housing tells People. The suspect tells People. Mangione is held at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, a federal facility on murder and terrorism charges in connections with Thompson's fatal shooting outside a Manhattan hotel on December 4th. He was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania, on December 9th and brought to New York on Friday, December 19th after he waived extradition in Pennsylvania. Since his arrival in New York, Mangione has been in the MDC along with other high-profile individuals like Sean Diddy Combs. Don't put those two people in the same sentence. Don't put that monster and Luigi Mangione in the same sentence. Mangione. That's insane. And Sam Bankman-Fried, another grifter. No. I refuse to hear you putting him in the same sentence as these two individuals. Sam Mango, a prison consultant. What the hell is a prison consultant? Currently working with other inmates at MDC. What is a prison consultant? I've never heard of that. Like, I guess, like one of the people that when you go in, they're the ones who tell you this is what you need to do, this is what you can't do, this is what you should do, kind of thing, to get you to survive the issue survive the time in MDC, because MDC is pretty bad according to the people that know about MDC. Let's see here. Mango says that Mangione is sleeping on blah, 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 blah. For Christmas, he will blah, 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 blah. Man, how many times are you going to say that? Okay, so if he is in protective custody, he will be alone in his cell on Christmas Day. His food will be provided to him through a sliding window. If he has been moved to the unit with high-profile inmates such as Combs and Bankman-Fried, he would be allowed about an hour-long visit from family members on Christmas Day. Wow. So people like Sam Bankman-Fried and Sean Diddy Combs, they get family stuff, but he might not be. That is insane. That is insane. There is way more evidence about Sam Bankman-Fried and Sean Diddy Combs than there is about Luigi Mangione, the homie. So, let's see. Inmates spend their times reminiscing about past Christmases. Often spend their time. That's the only way they can live vicariously through the people still on the outside. MDC has been in a spotlight because of its conditions since Combs was taken. Why do they care? Like, it's Sean Combs. Who gives a shit? Like, he's a monster. Like, who cares? Why are they putting, like, anyway. Let's see. Violence, rife with violence, overcoming, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? Sean Combs is having a bad time in jail. Boo. Who cares? How's Luigi doing? He's a legend, you know? And there's a lot less information about Luigi allegedly doing this stuff. I don't know that he did it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Free the homie. Free Mangione. Anyway, that was your Mangione Minute. It's going to be a new thing we're going to do here. The Mangione Minute. Brought to you by The Hijack. I feel like there needs to be like some fanfare. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to start a Mangione Minute. In other good news, Nick Fuentes is facing battery charge after your Body My Choice confrontation at his Illinois home. I am basically going through the list of topics that I've wanted to talk about for a few weeks, so bear with me here. This is pretty awesome. So this dork is facing the open battery charges. This is because... let's read on here. Far-right streamer and influencer Nick Fuentes has been accused of battery after allegedly spraying a woman with pepper spray when she appeared at his front door in Illinois last month as his refrain, "Your Body, My Choice," was going viral. Marla Rose, 57, told police that she went to record Fuentes' home on November 10th after she saw his controversial social media posts, and he pepper sprayed her and pushed her into concrete and broke her phone outside his Chicago area home in Bruin, Illinois. Sorry, Chicago people, Illinois. According to police report, which was filed on November 11th, the woman did not have any visible physical injuries, but her eyes were watery. Yeah, her eyes were watery. She got sprayed. She got assaulted by this little freaking Yahtzee dork. So Fuentes was arrested last month and released the same day. He is set to appear in court on December 19th. He did not respond to requests for comments on Friday. He posted pictures of his mugshot and wrote on Twitter. I don't dead name, but if I'm going to dead name, it's going to be Twitter. And he wrote on Twitter that free me N? What? He posted pictures. What the hell? Fuentes did he posted pictures on Friday of his mugshot. Hold on, let's go ahead and let's open the link in new tab and see what is this. Oh, it's just his stupid picture. That's fun. That's fine. Good for him. Fuck him. I'm glad. He posted pictures of his mugshot. Free me, and what is the? I want to know what this is. Am I just stupid? Anyway, it is on a civil case pending. Okay, so yeah, so Nick Fuentes got arrested. That's kind of nice. In other news, OpenAI whistleblower found dead in San Francisco apartment. An OpenAI researcher turned whistleblower has been found dead in an apartment in San Francisco, authorities said. The body of Sushir Balaji, 26, was discovered on 26 November after... Oh, I guess I should be reading this with a British accent. I'm not doing that. That's racist, probably. Is it? Colonial? I don't know. Anyway, not the point. 26 was discovered on 26 November after police say they received a call asking officers to check on his well-being. The San Francisco Medical Examiner's Office determined his death to be suicide. Yeah, sure. Oh crap! I just probably triggered the thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. In recent months, Mr. Balaji had publicly spoken out against artificial intelligence. Oh, and that happened, huh? Get the hell out of here. How about that? In recent let's see here, artificial intelligence company OpenAI's practices, which has been fighting a number of lawsuits relating to its data gathering practices. Yeah. In October, the New York Times published an interview with Mr. Balaji in which he alleged that OpenAI violated U.S. copyright law, developing its popular ChatGPT online chatbot. The article said that after working at the company for 4 years as a researcher, Mr. Balaji had come to the conclusion that OpenAI's use of copyrighted data to build ChatGPT violated the law and the technologies that ChatGPT were damaging the internet. Jesus Christ, dude. So, OpenAI says its models are trained on publicly available data. Well, yeah. That's the obvious. That's the obvious argument. But let's not lose sight of this. He did this, and now he has been expired. Self-expired. Let's see. Mr. Balaji left the company in August, telling the New York Times that he had since been working on personal projects. He grew up in Cupertino, California, before going to study computer science at the University of California, Berkeley. A spokesperson for OpenAI said in a statement cited by CNBC News that it was devastated to hear devastated to learn of this incredibly sad news, and that our hearts go out to Sushir's loved ones during this difficult time. U.S. Canadian news publishers, including the New York Times, and a group of best-selling writers, including John Grisham, have filed lawsuits claiming the company was illegally using news articles to train its software. OpenAI told the BBC in November that its software is grounded in fair use and related international copyright principles that are free for its creators and support innovation. If you've been affected by the issues in this story, and help and support is available via the BBC Action Line or contact Samaritans. If you are in the U.S., contact 988 or Lifeline, or contact Lifeline. All right, so this guy is now gone because he allegedly self-gone, and this is after he did what he did, after he spoke out. There's a lot of whistleblowers getting gone, including but not limited to the Boeing dude. There was John McAfee. Didn't he get obviously Jeffrey Epstein. So a lot of people getting they need to be eliminated because, I mean, he was a monster, but he was eliminated, self-eliminated. So all of these things are happening, and we keep going like nothing is wrong, and like that's not weird. So I gotta say that there is Sushir Balaji is one of, it's the latest that we know of in the elimination of people who could incriminate some of the largest companies on the planet that have been in like for years have been able to skirt the law, have been able to skirt regulation. Look at the FAA. Sometime before you fly, take a look at the FAA and the way that they deal with regulation. And who is checking who in these regulations. So, a little bit of good news, though. We're going good news, bad news today, right? Matt Gaetz' ethic report says the drug use and sex with a minor violated state laws. So maybe we might possibly see something. Former Representative Matt Gaetz, this is out of CBS News, former Representative Matt Gaetz, a Florida Republican who briefly stood to become President-elect Donald Trump's nominee to be Attorney General, how scary is that, was found by congressional ethics investigators to have paid numerous women, including a 17-year-old girl, for sex, and to have purchased and used illegal drugs, including from his Capitol Hill office. Wow. What the hell is this? Those are among the findings of the long-running investigation by the House Ethics Committee into Gaetz, which concluded the former Florida congressman violated multiple state laws related to sexual misconduct while in office. The committee determined that there is substantial evidence that Representative Gaetz violated House rules and other standards of conduct prohibiting prostitution, statutory R, illicit drug use. Oh well, whatever, man. It's gonna be. I'm cooked anyway. Illicit drug use, impermissible gifts, special favors and or privileges, and obstruction of Congress. The 37-page report concludes. On Monday, Gaetz filed a lawsuit in federal court seeking to block the release of the reports. Yeah, that's exactly what you do when you are innocent. You go to the you go and you file a lawsuit because they are definitely not. Yeah, whatever. The committee determined that there are let's see, blah 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 blah. On Monday, he filed a lawsuit in federal court seeking to block the release of the report, saying that he is now a private citizen and not subject to jurisdiction of the committee. That is hilarious. When you have to reach to that point. You have to reach to that point to make it so that you don't look like more of a scumbag. It's not, dude, you're already cooked. You're already a scumbag. Like, we already know. You're not, it's not new. We're not, yeah. Like, stop it. Stop it. All right? Let's see here. Gaetz resigned from Congress in November, coincidentally, after Trump announced plans to nominate him for Attorney General. But facing opposition from some fellow Republicans, Gaetz withdrew from a consideration a week later. The release of the ethics report brings to a close, at least for now, Gaetz' incendiary tenure on Capitol Hill, where he became one of the most vocal and provocative members of the pro-Trump faction in Congress. That is the ilk of people that are going to be running the show from 25 to 28, baby. Gaetz denied improper conduct and asserted claims were a smear invented by his political enemies. The committee said that the congressman refused to sit for sworn testimony, something that people always do when they're innocent. Though he did submit written answers to some of the committee questions. Of course, we all do. That is the best way to figure out whether or not you're lying. Write it down. The report gives a fresh voice to allegations of misconduct that have circulated around Gaetz for years in spite of his firm denials. It draws on testimony from witnesses who told the committee that they were paid to have sex with Gaetz, text messages discussing transactions, and Venmo and PayPal receipts. Among the report's most lurid findings, they were allegations of intercourse and drug-fueled parties and traveled, including a 2018 trip to the Bahamas where witnesses say he took ecstasy and had intercourse with 4 women. From 2017 to 2020, Representative Gaetz made tens of thousands of dollars in payments to women that the committee determined were likely in connection with intercourse activity and or use of illicit substances. Noted the report, which lists payments totaling more than $90,000 to 12 different women. Wow. It's one thing to pay for women for intercourse, but good Lord Almighty. The committee said it also received testimony that in a 2017 party, Gaetz twice had intercourse with victim A, who was 17 years old at the time and had just completed her junior year in high school. A victim recalled receiving $400 in cash from Representative Gaetz that evening, which she understood to be payment for intercourse. The committee wrote, a victim said that she did not inform Representative Gaetz that she was under 18 at the time, nor did he ask her age. Shocker. In his written report to the committee, Gaetz denied having sex with a minor. The Department of Justice previously investigated Gaetz for violating intercourse traffic laws, but did not bring the charges. Dude, this is insane. In a statement posted on Twitter last week, Gaetz said, "In my single days, I often sent funds to women I dated. Even some I never dated, but who asked. I dated several of these women for years. It's embarrassing, though not criminal, that I probably partied, womanized, drank, and smoked more than I should have earlier in life. I live a different life now." Bruh, that was like 6 years ago. That's insane. But hey, you know what? Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I'm glad he is getting investigated. I hope the lawsuit gets dropped. Speaking of dropped, see that? That's what we in the business call a segue. So, speaking of dropped, this is more of a local story. Here is a...
What's happening?
These are a bunch of drones that fell from the sky in Lake Eola, about 20 minutes away from me here in Central Florida. This is a drone show. This is, I believe, the third year of the drone show. Yeah, that's wild, dude. So that was out of Orlando, Florida. This is WFTV, one of our local news sources here. The Federal Aviation Administration is investigating after multiple drones fell from the sky during a drone show at Lake Eola Saturday night. The FAA said several small drones collided and fell into a crowd around 6:45 p.m. Cell phone video obtained by eyewitnesses shows several drones dropping from the sky. The show shows the iconic swans at Lake Eola flying away. Good Lord, man. That is insane. Let's see. The Orlando Fire Department confirmed that one person was injured during the event. Adriana Edgerton told Eyewitness News her 7-year-old son was hit in the chest with one of the drones. One of the propellers also... Why would they run those without rotor covers? Whatever they're called. Why would they do that? That makes no sense. I would think. Anyway, not the point. Wow. The FAA said it regulates drone shows. If more than one drone is operated at a time, it requires the operator to apply for a waiver. Each application is thoroughly reviewed. The FAA said it looks at software controlling the drones, procedures in the event as a single or multiple drones. If multiple drones fail, if an aircraft gets too close to the show, how the operator keeps the drone within a confined area using geofencing. Wow, dude. Yeah, so it's a pretty thorough investigation if that happens. Channel 9's Giovanni Dallas will have a live report, blah, 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 blah. That's impacted by the outcome of this event. The city of Orlando released the following statement. Our thoughts with the family and all those impacted by the outcome of this event. The city remains in contact with the vendor and the FAA, who will conduct a thorough investigation. This is all information. This is all the information we have available to share at this time. Last night, a holiday drone show was held at Orlando's Lake Eola Park at 6:30. The drone show had technical difficulties, so the decision immediately was made to cancel the 8 p.m. show. Yeah, duh. At approximately 6:48, Orlando Fire Department was alerted to an individual who was reported to be injured by the show during the show. Fire personnel were already at the park, staffing an emergency tent that was approximately 50 feet away from the scene of the incident. Paramedics began to render aid as soon as they made contact with the individual. The holiday drone show was a permitted event through the FAA. It was the third year drawing crowds of approximately 25,000 people. This is the second year using the vendor Sky Elements to operate the drones. OPD detectives made contact with the individual's family last night and will continue to... So this is a... what was the name of the company? Sky Elements? Let me try to find Sky Elements. Let's try to find something. I want to see who these people are. That's crazy, dude. That is crazy. Sky Elements. Entertainment agency. They're not even local? Are you kidding me right now? So, Sky Elements drone show. So this is their website. This is Sky Elements drone shows. So these guys aren't even local. Why is the city of Orlando spending so much money on out of town? Like, we have to have a company that does this kind of stuff. Which, by the way, looks really awesome as long as it's not flying at you, you know? As long as it's not flying at you, as long as they're not hurting you, you're good. That's a cool shot. And that's, okay, this isn't a Sky Elements screwed up in Orlando. I'm mad that they're not from here. Like, I figured that they would at least find a company from here to do this. This is insane. Anyway. So that was that's more of a local story. And let's I don't even know if I want to talk about this one. I don't know that I want to talk about this one. It's about the woman that was set on fire in New York, and I really don't want to go through it, but it goes back to I'm not even gonna, you know what? I'm not even gonna bring up the story because it's so bad, and I hated it, and the first thing you hear is, oh, it's an illegal alien. Yeah, deport him. I don't care. Yeah. If the person's setting a person on fire, yeah, whatever. That's the least of my worries. That's not who we are, who we are fighting for to stay here. So there's that element, but then there's the much bigger element, which is something that I talked about the last time that I did this, which was the amount of money that we spend on policing, specifically the NYPD in this case, and their reaction to this person he was the person who set this lady on a flame, was waving the flames with a shirt next, and the cops were just like walking. It was absolutely horrendous. I couldn't believe that these people were like, he was that brazen. I mean, it's New York City, so that I'm used to. But for the cops to be that just nonchalant about a human, I unfortunately saw the unedited version, and holy crap, it was. I have a pretty strong, stomach and everything, but holy mother of God, that was insane. It was just like the lady was just like standing there because she couldn't move and she was still alive. And then you just see her just kilo. Anyway. And these cops were just sitting there doing nothing. It's only when they can play Rambo that they decide to do something. And even then they just yeah. Anyway. So that's man, I really should have picked something more bright to end it with, right? Holy crap. Let's find something, something good. Let's find some good news first. Let's end the show with a good news the last 24 hours. Let's find something good. Jesus Christ. Good. Okay. So I just found the Good News Network. The Good News Network. Inspiring positive stories. Let's look at this together. Why not? Let's take a look-see at this. Good news. USA. Let's keep it local. I want to make it like here. NORAD. A wrong number to a top secret military phone led to NORAD Santa tracker with millions of fans. I don't care. U.S. passes Hearts Act to fund defibrillators for schools. Okay, that's good. Last year, Boston's murder rate was the lowest ever. What? Wow. Okay, let's try that. Let's give that one a whirl. Though rarely mentioned among most homicidal cities in the country, Boston has seen her fair share of mean times. But according to a new report, there have never been fewer murders in the city than now. That's because 2023 saw the fewest on record, and barring an explosion of violence in the last 17 days of 2024, that's not uncommon. Okay, let's be real. How are the sports teams doing? That's a big. That's a big. I mean, the Pats aren't doing great. So it's not gonna be. Let's be real here. Eh? All right. Let's see. The city of Boston saw 37 homicides in 2023, which, according to Christian Science Monitor, who the hell is Christian Science Monitor? Why are we going to Christian Science Monitor? Oh, because it's the Good News Network. This isn't a reputable source. I'm trying to get good news. This is like getting blood from a stone. The city of Boston saw 37 homicides in 2023, which, according to the Christian Science Monitor, who the fuck is that, was the lowest number recorded since Boston Regional Intelligence Center began counting. What? Okay. Look, I'm glad. It's awesome. Shout out Boston. You're a little less violent these days, apparently. I guess. So I guess that's the good news. You know what? 2024 wasn't a great year. I'll be blunt. So the fact that we ended it on this good news from this questionable at best site, that's kind of par for the course. So it's kind of like the consolation prize of this whole thing. So I think that that about does it. That about does it. Oh. Oh my God. So this is the last one of 2024. I will catch you next year, and hopefully a better year is to come in 2025. I said that last year, and it completely screwed me over. So I don't think that I should say that. I really don't. I really don't think I should say that. But whatever. My name is DJ Zwain. You can find me anywhere and everywhere on social media at DJ ZOUAIN. ZOUAIN on all social media. You can find me. You can find this show, The Hijack The End, on all social media. The DJ Zwain pages are more music. This is more. If you're watching me on the DJ Zwain pages, that is an anomaly. Until we build the listenership, we'll be able to do that. But until then, I will see you in 2025. Peace.